Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Luis, walking you through on how I build an LLM powered system to semi-automate my content publishing. This is video number 24 in that series where I'm going to talk about how I troubleshoot things when they go wrong in my stack. Big things here is the ones that typically go wrong so far have been my lambdas. For that, I rely on CloudWatch logs, and the CloudWatch logs take care of pretty much the entire stack. So anything that is happening is being tracked by CloudWatch. I've got live trails for several of the services that I've got on, so I could go on and see what is happening as it's happening. Everything is logged. I'm able to trace all the events that are happening. EventBridge has a dashboard that shows how many times it was triggered, what was triggered. So when things go wrong, those are my first go-to places. Go to the CloudWatch logs and then go to any trace events that I've got. The last one that I kind of use here is also going to failure patterns. And one of the biggest ways that I've been able to do this is actually using Amazon Q. So with my repo is on GitHub. I access my GitHub through VS Code, and I update and do all my work on VS Code. And I have Amazon Q installed in my VS Code. I don't pay for Amazon Q. It's one of the few AI services that I don't pay for. I do pay for ChatGPT and I do pay for Claude. Haven't had a need to pay for Amazon Q. I don't use it enough to warrant paying $20 a month for it. But the free version is more than enough to do this troubleshooting. So I can tell it, hey, this is the problems I've experienced. I've had this one where when I was deploying the Amplify stack, just simply just wasn't working. Something wasn't updating. I was trying to update a field for a drop down in one of the menus, and I just couldn't figure out why things weren't working. It wouldn't show when files ingested or anything. Things wouldn't be getting triggered. And I was like, okay, well, I can't even figure out where this is going wrong. I sat with Amazon Q and I explained, hey, this is what's going on. And it was able to just walk through and ask me to run certain prompts right within its interface, and it would run these CLI commands, do a trace events to see what happens. It would upload its own file. It would check to see if the menus were being updated, DemoDB was being updated. It troubleshot perfectly with me, just everything that I would need to do by hand. All I had to do was supervise it as it was going along. This is one of those times, though, that you do need to know what it's actually doing, because I found that it was making a mistake in one of my troubleshooting sessions where I was able to identify I've got two profiles installed on my computer for AWS. And somewhere in its troubleshooting steps, it actually went to the default profile, which was not the default, the profile that I was working on, or the AWS org that I was working on. So mid troubleshoot, things kind of went sideways. I corrected it. I eventually figured it out. When I looked at it, I was like, no, you're using the wrong profile. But it was able to work with me and I worked with it to resolve that issue. So big things is CloudWatch logs, traceability, and then when the actual troubleshooting step is required, the beauty, because it's all on AWS, AWS provides Amazon Q, is go directly to Amazon Q within VS Code. You can use Amazon Q on the console. I have found that less helpful than actually running it in VS Code. VS Code, because it can see your code, it can see what's supposed to be happening, can kind of make 2 cents. It's got more context. I found that using it on the console, especially when I have like a Lambda error or something, it just gives me just this generic error advice of, something that you could read if you just go look at the documentation. But that's how I troubleshoot how anything goes wrong on this stack. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next and the last video in the series. Thank you so much for following along, but I'm going to just share my reflection on that as I've built this entire system and what I've learned and what I would have done different and whether or not it's been worthwhile. I can tell you the answer is yes, it's worthwhile for me, but would it be worthwhile for you out there to do a project similar to this? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.